These are my top 10 large Alpha Tribe base locations in Ark Survival Ascended, the island map. I will quickly give you map and GPS coordinates for each large base location, show you how to find them easily from the air, and point out some of the most important resources nearby. You can use the chapters to skip around to the base locations you're most interested in, but I would recommend watching the whole video, because some of these base spots are better than you would think, and there are some I have not showed you in my other ASA base location guides. These are all perfect Alpha Tribe PVE base locations, but they are also great for smaller tribes or solo players who want a huge base area secured by just a few walls and foundations, and a lot of them will be excellent PvP base locations too. So let's get started. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. This is probably my favorite large to Alpha Tribe base location in Ark Survival Ascended. It is a perfect place to build because it's got cliffs all the way around this entire plateau, and it is massive. That entire section of jungle filling up this screen has cliffs almost all the way around, and if you build one little section of walls, the entire thing can be foundationed off and be totally safe. It's at 91.5, 53.5, and this little bay is actually the South Zone 2 spawn location. So you can spawn in here at one of the safest beaches in the game, and you're right next to Metal Mountain up there, and there's another mountain with metal over here. There's beaver dams right on this little island, and tons of really good resources nearby. And there's actually an artifact cave just to the north side of this, and it's got crystal in there just at the entrance. So I cleared off this plateau just so you can get a feel for how huge this base area actually is, and everything you can see here is totally flat except that one little mountain with the Giga standing on it. There's one little land bridge over here you can block off, and one place right over here you can block off. And if you want to expand onto the neighboring plateau, which also has cliffs all the way around all sides, just one more small wall and you've got another huge section of jungle that's all yours. Out here at about 58.1, 24.4 on the west side of the Redwood Forest across the river is a huge plateau. It's got really tall, steep cliffs all the way around all sides of it, so this is going to be an extremely good alpha base, just massive base location. And if you build one good-sized wall across this area over here, you can wall off the entire plateau and have the entire thing completely safe and make this your base. Now, Rhynognatheas will spawn down here. You can see there's one right here, so you'll want to get some turrets in place just in case, but if you're a huge alpha tribe that wants a lot of space to spread out, this is an excellent location. There's actually beaver spawns right down here in the water, and a lot of other really valuable resources nearby, and you're not that far from some of the best metal and things like that too. This huge plateau has cliffs all the way around it, and it's one of the best large to Alpha Tribe base locations in Ark Survival Ascended. You've got tons of space to spread out, and if you put one wall across here, and then one small wall on the ramp, the entire plateau is completely secured, and it's an excellent place to live. Lots of place to spread out. It's not super flat, but it's at 62.9, 68.8, and the location is one of the best things about this, because just a touch to the east is one of the most concentrated metal deposits on the entire island, and there's lots of crystal there too. Just to the west is Green Ob, which is a huge perk because you can easily march your dinos to boss fights, all kinds of stuff like that. You've got an excellent view with a nice waterfall you can see from your front porch, and it's right on the edge of the swamp, which can be a problem, but as long as you don't go off the cliffs over there, you're fine. And it's actually got one of the easiest plant species X seed pods to deposit right here. You can come to 65.9, 68.5, and if you can deal with the local wildlife, you've got unlimited vegan turrets to defend your base. And then just over here to the east is this huge open plain that's got Doedicurus, Rexes, and all kinds of really helpful endgame creatures that you can tame. And the river at the base of the cliff can give you easy access to the ocean so you can get to the whole map by sea. This might be the biggest base location in Ark Survival Ascended, perfect for the largest alpha tribes. And this whole plateau, this entire island really, has cliffs almost all the way around it. So the center of this island, we're actually just north of Herbivore Island, we're at about 79.784. And if we zoom back on the map, you can kind of get a feel for how big this island actually is. And this entire section of jungle has cliffs almost all the way around. We've got an artifact cave over here. There's lots of really big endgame creatures that spawn out here. So if you build a wall right across this section and then use the cliffs for walls all the way around the rest of the base, you can come out to this part, build one more wall over here, and then one more over by the beach right here. And then the entire section of jungle, this entire island, is all totally secured with natural walls all the way around. I'm here at one of the coolest base locations in Ark Survival Ascended, you know, because it's a glacier. So this glacier over here has a huge cave system hidden underneath the ice. We're right here at 33.3, 16.5, and all the way from the top of the crack in ice all the way down to the bottom is a huge cave system that stretches back here. You could easily build a pretty good sized base right here with one wall blocking it off, and then slowly expand as your base grows to fill up this entire canyon. It actually goes all the way down to the ocean, and there's a water source down here too. And then once you're over here, we've got tons of really good resources. This is one of the most resource-rich places in the game, believe it or not. We've got one of the richest crystal deposits right over here. The shallow coast here is full of silica pearls. They're just kind of hard to see from out of the water, but there's a bunch of them here. And then all the way up here, we've got an archway, which makes an ideal outpost. You can block this off with one dino gate, park an Anki up here, and have full access to this ridge over here. So we're at about 25.4, 10.6, and this ridge is full of metal, penguins for polymer, tons of crystal, and lots of obsidian and oil down on the beaches. You can also find silica pearls out on the beaches and all kinds of good resources nearby. If you're a big alpha tribe and you want a lot of flat space to make a huge structure and you don't mind building a lot of walls to protect it, this spot right here is about 43, 81.8, and there is a ton of extremely flat area around here, and you can easily build up on top of this plateau. There are some cliffs on some sides, but you would have to build walls around most of it to protect yourself. But just over this edge here is actually a really cool area to build in. There's all of these little caves that go up underneath the rocks, and just down in the water is one of the most rich metal deposits and tons of crystal right over here, as long as you don't mind dealing with some piranhas. And this stuff is right at 45, 77.3. So there's a lot of really nice things around this area, and you can do a lot of cool stuff building around here. Just north of Greenob is this oddly shaped mountain with a hole in the middle of it, and this is actually an excellent Alpha Tribe base location. So right in the middle of this section of the map is about 54.2, 73.6, and all of these brown areas around the arrow on the map are cliffs, and this is actually a very well protected area because it's got cliffs on almost all sides. You are in the very middle of the swamp, which makes it a bit less convenient, but if you go around this whole area, there are cliffs all the way around the side, so just a couple of small walls here and there, and this entire section of the map can be blocked off and used as a massive Alpha Tribe base location. You've got access to the ocean via this river here. You got some nice waterfalls and some good scenic areas. There's swamp all around, and it's not super flat in a lot of these areas, but being right next to the Greenob is a big perk, and there's actually some huge places down here where you can easily stash things, and it's really hard to spot. And then right over here is one of the best hidden rat holes in the game. You can go back in here and find some crystal and metal and a lot of good places to hide things, and because it's in the swamp, it's a lot harder to get to, and it's a really nice spot being close to a lot of good resources. Another one of the best starting base locations is this peninsula right here at about 85.1, 23.4, and this spot has cliffs all the way around it and water around most of it, so you just need to build one wall going from here to here, and the entire place is totally safe for your dinos. It's very flat, it's an excellent place for building. It's got some distance from a lot of resources, but it's a great place to start in a really safe area if you want a lot of space to build. This plateau is a little bit south of where the snow meets the jungle, and it's got walls all the way around it. The plateau is right at 4911, and if you build a wall from here to about here where there's a ramp that comes up to it, you can block off the whole plateau. It's pretty flat and it's a great safe area to start building, and then you can start expanding across some more of this area up into the jungle with just a couple of walls added. And it's really cool location. There's coral reefs right next to the waterfalls, but there's really great resources just up here to the north where the snow starts. Tons of good resources right over there, a short raft ride away, and just a bit to the south off this coast is one of the best water loot caves in the entire game for great endgame loot. So it's a great area next to a lot of really good resources. This is Herbivore Island, arguably the best base location in all of Ark Survival Ascended, the island map, and we are here on the southeast corner of the map, right about 88.8, 90.1, and this island is a paradise because there are no predators at all. Only herbivores spawn here, and the only time you could possibly be in danger is if you attack them first or try to steal one of their eggs, and because of that, there's babies everywhere because they won't get attacked by anything. You're also going to find tons of metal up on top of these ridges. There's about 15 metal nodes and nothing will bother you up here. You're also going to find tons of Ankies, and they spawn all over the beaches and up on top of those ridges. And because there's no predators, this is the best place in the entire game to tame an Ankylosaurus and use it to get tons of metal. There's lots of really nice beaches, there's very flat areas to build on, and a couple of explorer notes too, so you can get yourself started, get a really good base set up, and get yourself really high levels without even leaving this island, and never having to go into a dangerous area. The only drawback is you are pretty isolated out here, which is sometimes a good thing too, but the closest land you're going to have to go across the water to get there, usually by raft, and you're going to have whales sometimes waiting for you. It's random if they'll be here or not, but you'll know it real quick if they are. Now, it's closer than it used to be on the original Ark Survival Evolved map, so it's a lot easier to sail across this stretch without your raft getting sunk, but do keep that in mind before you decide to live here, that it's a perfect place to live except for being so far away from a lot of resources. I hope this base location guide helped you find the perfect place to live, whether you're a large tribe, an alpha tribe, or just a single player who loves to have a lot of space to build in. If you choose to live in any of these base locations, I would love if you drop a comment and let me know how that's going for you. And if there's any base locations I missed that are perfect for large or alpha tribes, please let me know the coordinates in the comments too. If this guide helped you, please give it a thumbs up so it can help other people too. And if you'd like even more of the best base locations in Ark Survival Ascended, I've got a guide on the top 30 base locations, and that'll give you tons of really helpful tips. And this may be your last chance to subscribe to this channel and be one of the first 50,000 subscribers. But either way, if you don't subscribe and ring that bell for all notifications, you might miss our next helpful guide that'll make your life so much easier on Ark Survival Ascended. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. Please give it a thumbs up, share it around, and leave a comment. That helps us so much, and we love hearing from you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for all notifications so you don't miss our next video full of tricks that will help you win at Ark. While you wait, here's more videos you can watch right now, and we will see you in the next video.